What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Maximize. Hi. So today, guys, I wanted to go over how you can best design your space using houseplants. This tends to be the cheapest way to decorate your house. Rather than buying like expensive decor pieces, you can just get plants, you know? It's like pretty much ideal. So today I just wanted to like give little tips on ways that I design, you know, my house. So it's not just like, I don't like it when just everyone's like all your plants are just in like one area of the house. I like to really place them, you know, really strategically around the house. So it doesn't look cluttered, but it also looks like, oh wow, there's a lot of plants in here, but you're not overwhelmed with like one wall of plants. I hope you guys find this helpful. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to go over was corners. So utilizing corners is very important when you have larger plants. That's pretty much the best place for tall plants. It really acts as like an anchor for the room. So if you have like a taller tree or something, like a corn plant or a taller ficus plant like I do, the best place for these guys is in a corner where they can really like own that area, you know, like that's their kingdom right there. That's where I primarily place all my taller plants because it just really draws your eye to the corner. It's not just like an empty, dull corner, you know. Either just put one very large plant in the corner, or you can kind of create like a triple threat sort of thing where you have, you know, a taller plant and then you have sort of a medium plant and then something on the ground. It just creates like a lot of visual interest when you have three different plants, three different heights, and it just makes it look fuller, you know. It's not just like, oh, okay, it's just a plant, you know. Instead, you have like a whole little moment to enjoy. So that's my piece on corners. Another thing that is really crucial is using your vertical space. So creating some kind of hanging looks throughout your house. I'm lucky enough to have beams in my house, so I can really utilize those beams and hang plants from either side of them and just kind of create a nice little accent to each side. So it's not just like naked blank, you know, ceiling. Add some interest and things happening, you know, something to look at. You can also put some nails on the wall and just hang plants against the wall. I love using macrame because it adds like, it's more of a neutral look. It adds that cozier bohemian vibe. It just looks so comfy, you know, like when I look at a macrame hanger, I'm like, ooh, I feel cozy, you know, like, ooh. But maybe that's just me. If you hate macrame, I know people that hate it, then, you know, you're on your own. I don't know what else you can do. You could just use those plastic hangers. I don't know. But those look a lot worse in my opinion. I guess you could use like chains. Like people use like the little chains. If you want more of the industrial look, that is an option. Another option is you can often find like weird random like hanging buckets type of thing. You can find them a lot at like Home Goods and Ross and what's the other one? TJ Maxx. They have like great stuff sometimes where it's literally just like I just found my hanging bucket at Ross for like $10 and I was like, okay, well I can put plants in this, like no problem, you know, I'll find a way. And all I did was I just hanged the bucket, put a bunch of 3 little plants in there. So they're all just living in there together and it really creates this nice, you know, neutral, like metal tends to be very neutral. So I thought that would be like the perfect, like, you know, way to kind of like warm up the wall a little bit so it's not so blank back there. And it really allows the plants to serve as the pop of color. So the plants are really like the centerpiece. They're like, you know, the attention grabber. And that's what I really wanted. I really wanted to give the plants a space where they're like, okay, this is my moment. And I didn't want to just put more pots and macrame up there. I wanted something else because on my other wall I have the macrame, but back here I wanted something a little different. So, and then, you know, once those vines start to really hang down in all your hanging plants, you know, you can really create a little more of a jungle vibe. Like my pothos vine is just insanely long back there. It's right there, you can see it. And it really just creates this like natural, like simple energy, you know, when you look at it. It's not like, oh my God, there's a lot of plant. It just puts me at ease every time I look at it. I'm like, ah. I also have like a metal circular piece in my bedroom, like right above my bed. And that's another great way to kind of utilize a galvanized metal you know, hanging object. I don't know what you would call it, but I immediately was like, okay, I'm putting plants in that for sure. And the metal just really plays up the green in all of the pothos that I put in the hanging stuff. So I highly recommend just getting something metal, something white, and then putting your plants in it and really letting it speak for itself. It just adds this natural energy that you can't achieve when you just buy like, you know, pictures and picture frames. You know, it's just not the same feeling you get when you look at it. But if you are hanging plants, I really recommend putting a dish pan under it, because that makes it so much easier when you're watering, because when you have to take it out every time and like put it in the sink and then water it, it's like a whole thing. So I really recommend putting some sort of dish under each plant that you're hanging. It just makes life easier. That's all I'm gonna say. And like I was kind of saying earlier, try and use more neutral colors. So when you're placing plants just on like end tables or, you know, entry tables or little small table, I don't know, there's tables everywhere. Just any kind of table. You know, you want to use more natural colors if possible. I would consider terracotta a more natural color. It's just very warm. So if you have a very warm table like natural wood or something, I would recommend using white or gray or black or metal, you know, something that will kind of stand out from that wood table. But if you have a black table or a white table, use a warmer texture to warm it up, you know, like add some interest. So then I would go for terracotta or like a basket or burlap or something that just warms it up a bit and adds more interest and, you know, a different sort of feel to it. I use a lot of baskets in my home. I have like a few different basket looks happening right now. It just helps warm up the space. I have like a lot of white furniture, and you know, the walls are like a very light blue. We have very dark wood floors. So I use the baskets to kind of warm up the wall space. And then on my black furniture, I use lighter pots. I also have a lot of terracotta, but that's just because I'm lazy sometimes, and I always had a lot of terracotta. Ideally, all my pots would be like some sort of gray or white color. I really prefer the lighter colors because it really, really allows the plant to pop a lot more. I used to be really into like a multicolor pot, you know, like blues and reds and crazy colors, but I just learned that it takes away from the plant, you know, when you have a really colorful pot. I mean, obviously you can have like a cute little, like, you know, something, but if you're trying to use plants as decor in your home, I highly recommend using more neutral tones and let the plants kind of speak for themselves and own that look, you know, let them have their moment. Another great tool when you're trying to create more visual interest with your plants is plant stands. So you can find all kinds of like inexpensive plant stands. I got a few of mine from Walmart. Some of them I just randomly got over the years. I don't even remember where I got them most of the time. I don't like it when plants are all at the same height because it just kind of is like, what? It's not very interesting to look at. You know, you want multiple heights, and you really want to be mindful of the size of the plant that you're getting. So if you're looking to fill a certain table, you don't want to put a plant that's too small because then it just makes the table look empty. You just want to get a bushier plant if you're trying to fill a space or use it as a larger accent. You don't want to get a plant that's too small, or you can use a plant stand to make it look larger than it actually is. So you just have to be a little strategic in how you go about these things. All right, so those are all my like quick tips, guys, on ways you can decorate your house using houseplants. You just have to be a little strategic about it. I know, like, I buy plants just super impulsively with no design ideas in mind all the time. Like literally all the time. So I'm not like going out and buying specific plants because I'm like, ooh, this would look great in this specific corner in this specific pot. Like that never happens. Like I never do that. So just like buy plants willy-nilly and then try your best to design with them as you go. That's what I do. If you're not like planning it ahead, that's not a big deal. But these are just my tips for the plants that you have currently. Just ways you can make it look a little cleaner and make it look more inviting and not quite so like cluttered and overwhelming, you know? You want to use them in every aspect, hanging, on the floor, on a plant stand, on tables. You want to use them in every which way possible. That way you can get as many plants as possible. That's what we're going for right now. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please like, please comment, and let me know what you want to see. And please turn on that notification bell so you know every time I post. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!